Hey YouTube, Renee here once again with the second and continuation part of this restoration project. Now, at the end of the first part I told you I was going to use 220 grit sandpaper to get rid of that shiny finish that it had. I said it was shellac, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know what it is. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to be shellac, but I just said it was, but I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, it doesn't matter. It's gone. As you guys can see, what I did was I sanded all around everywhere. Now, sanding it, I didn't go really hard, by the way. I forgot to mention this. It's like I didn't really go super hard. I didn't. Very, very light. This is 220. It's a very, very coarse, grit sandpaper. So, I just went very lightly. And, even going super lightly like that, it did scratch the wood. But, as I said before, it doesn't really matter. Now, one of the things that I always do is whenever I sand this part down, I always sand it with the bit on. That way you don't get a weird crease right here where I don't know, it just all of a sudden this becomes very open if you do these two pieces separate. So right here I went a little different. Right here I did 400, then I did 600 and then 800 just to get this part of the bit clean, and then I went back with the 220 without the bit. But I just wanted to show you that part here. So as you guys can see, there's not much to see here. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to dye the pipe brown again. Maybe not the same color that it had, because I doubt I'll be able to replicate that color. And to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, I didn't really like that color. But I guess what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to use tan color. I'm going to use tan, and I'm going to mix it with some denatured alcohol. What that is going to do is going to allow me to be able to dry the pipe a lot faster, and it keeps it from bleeding, because the dye tends to bleed, every now and then in your hand, and when you mix it with denatured alcohol, or I would say any kind of alcohol, I don't know, it tends to help that a lot. So that's why I use it. Plus, of course, it speeds up the process a lot more. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many coats I'm going to do. So, and again, I'm not going to show you that part, but in the next video, I'll tell you exactly how many coats I used and what I did. More than likely, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the first coat here, and then I'm going to sand it down again, this time using 400 grit sandpaper. And depending on the color that I have at that point, I will dye it again. More than likely I probably will have to. And then, from there I'll just keep going depending on the color that I get. And like I said, in the next video, I'll tell you exactly what I did. So that's it for right now. Compadres, comadres, as always, thank you for watching. If you still are, y vayan con Dios.